2021, the overall export amount from Bangladesh to Japan was US $1 billion, out of which 80% of that was RMG related. We expect this trend to continue its growth, but so will the wage level naturally increase in line with the economic advancement of Bangladesh. Going forward, companies will have to seek for more productivity, less dependence on workforce and its competitive wage, and gradually shift its production into higher value products. Today, where many RMGs are relatively simple products made from 100% cotton and knitted products, new materials, blended fabrics, man-made fibers, functional materials are introduced into market. Adding higher value products such as outerwear and suits will be a good strategy. Japan textile machinery industry has continued to support Bangladesh RMG industry with its product and can continue to provide the high-efficient technological solution needed by the industry from time to time. And to ease the burden of upfront CapEx investment, JICA offers a two-step loan facility with favorable rates to support such investment. But we can and will be pleased to provide an overall solution to the RMG industry. With Bangladesh graduating LDC status in 2026, entering of EPA between Japan and Bangladesh is of utmost importance for the continued development of textile industry. A joint study group was launched last December between the two governments, and it is hoped that the joint study will progress well so that the Bangladesh graduation from LDC in 2026 will not affect the RNG export to Japan. Next, let me touch on the infrastructure sector. There's no doubt in anybody's mind that a well-planned infrastructure forms the backbone to any nation building and economic activities. Effective and efficient infrastructure is the key to global competitiveness, needless to say, for the well-being of citizens of Bangladesh. Infrastructure development needs in Bangladesh is enormous and challenging. Japanese government and JICA in recent years have committed large sums of concessionary loan. To be a bit more specific, $2.5 billion equivalent in 2019, $3.4 billion in 2020, and $2.8 billion in 2021. And Bangladesh is the largest recipient in the world from Japan, to support critical structures, such as MRTs, airport terminals, bridges, roads, and port development projects, as I mentioned earlier. Many Japanese engaged in these projects are working diligently to deliver on time and to the level of quality expected from us. When completed, for sure, these projects will be tremendous contribution to Bangladesh economy. But more needs to be done. Alternative financial resources will need to be mobilized depending on the nature and risk profile of the project, such as the JBIC loan facility or a PPP scheme where private risk money can be invited to partake in the development. Personally, I was in charge of power project development in Bangladesh in my earlier career and implemented both Yen Credit Finance project by JICA, as well as JBIC Finance project. Our company also implemented a US $1 billion fertilizer plant in Bangladesh with the support of JBIC facility. May be interesting to note that February this year, the governor of JBIC visited Bangladesh, met with Bangladesh Honorable Prime Minister and Minister of Industry, and expressed JBIC's intention of further support for Bangladesh. For the PPP scheme, MOC signed in 2017 between Bangladesh PPP Agency and Japan's Ministry of Land Infrastructure, Transport and Tourism was extended October last year, and several projects have since been added for consideration. Hopefully, this PPP working platform will pave the way for private sector to consider investment in infrastructure projects in Bangladesh. In the past, Bangladesh has implemented many IPP projects under the support of World Bank. Therefore, I believe that the Bangladesh is already accustomed to how the public and private divides its role, risk, and responsibility to jointly pursue capital-intensive projects. New areas of focus will be the ICT field and manufacturing in special economic zones. As for special economic zones, BSEZ will be introduced later, following myself. So I would like to touch on the ICT sector. As we are all aware, Honorable Prime Minister has put a lot of effort to grow the IT sector under the policy Digital Bangladesh. Recently, aiming to become a developed country by 2041, the policy has been upgraded to Smart Bangladesh. Bangladesh is targeting to export value of $5 billion by 2025 in IT sector. Every year, tens of thousands of fresh graduates majoring in computer science and engineering in Bangladesh are born, quickly catching up with the countries such as India and Vietnam. IT engineers of various classes are in shortage globally, particularly in Japan, and I have no doubt that going forward, the world will be relying on competitive IT resources coming out of Bangladesh. During my recent trip here, I had an opportunity to learn how Bangladesh has already made significant advancement in digitalizing the society through utilization of mobile phones, leveraging on the traditional trade shops for cash and cashless solutions, also addressing the financial inclusion of unbanked areas. Instead of simply replicating business model in developed nations, it is tailor-made to adopt different local environment to suit Bangladesh. I think Japan will have a lot to learn from Bangladesh, the policies and implementation of digitizing the society. In closing, Japan and Bangladesh have come a long way in deepening our economic relations owing to fabulous relationship between the two governments. However, this is still the beginning of what should be longer, larger, and deeper economic relationship to come. Allow me to introduce some precedents. In Thailand, there are more than 5,000 Japanese manufacturers. In Vietnam, 2,000, and about 1,500 in Indonesia, and these numbers are still growing. In Bangladesh, as I mentioned earlier, the number is still limited to 340 companies registered as to date. This business summit will surely help shorten the psychological distance that exists, but we need to continuously attract attention and interest of potential Japanese companies and businesses into Bangladesh. Attracting FDI is the common goal of most countries in order to create local employment and economic growth. However, it is not something achievable overnight. Companies showing interest in Bangladesh will first want to test the water through import, test marketing of their products before making an FDI commitment. Most of 5,000 Japanese companies in Thailand started their business in Thailand by first importing their product before they finally decided to produce locally. Fast forward, today many of these manufacturers' production base in Thailand have grown to become the export base, contributing significantly to the GDP of Thailand. Japanese companies have tendency to be cautious and require some time to plan and make commitments. But once they do, they are in for long term. Companies maximize local resource and employment, transferring technology through this process, repetitive improvements in efficiency and quality. Learning from the history, what I would like to suggest to Bangladesh government is to develop rules and environment in which private foreign companies can compete in a healthy manner. If policies are made to protect domestic industries, it won't attract foreign investment. Timely policy measures, such as relaxation of import regulations or custom duties, investment incentives, would be appealing to foreign investments. If level playing ground is prepared, private sector can and will bring technology, efficiency, quality, and creativity into Bangladesh. Healthy competition has always proven to bring growth. I would also like to appeal to the companies in Bangladesh to join hands with Japanese companies, invite them to the Bangladesh market, leverage the strength and value these companies can provide to pursue mutual growth. Marubeni, being the gateway to the Japanese economy, will be more than happy to be the ambassador for Bangladesh in bridging the economies of Japan and Bangladesh. Thank you very much for the audience.
Thank you, Mr. Nishimura. Takeshi Miya. Now, actually, we are going to have second presentation by Mr. Taruk Awasi. Before that, I would like to request Ms. Urbi Islam to call upon to the dais our esteemed panelists, special guests, and guest of honor to the dais. Thank you.
I now kindly request Mr. Lokman Hussain Mia, Executive Chairman, Bangladesh Investment Development Authority, BIDA, to come to the stage. I request guest of honor, His Excellency, Mr. Iwama Kiminori, Ambassador, Embassy of Japan in Bangladesh. Next, I request Mr. Takeshi Mamiya, Managing Director, Marubeni Asian Private Limited. I also request Mr. Taru Kawachi, Managing Director, Bangladesh Sage Limited. Mr. Abdul Haq, Director, Infrastructure Development Company Limited, ICOL, Managing Director, Hawke's Bay Automobile Limited, to come to the stage and take your seat. I also request Mr. Myung-ho Lee, President, Japanese Commerce and Industry Association in Dhaka, GC8 Country Representative for Bangladesh, Mitsubishi Corporation. Lastly, I request Mr. Tetsuro Kano, General Manager, Itochu Corporation, Dhaka, Liaison Office, Vice President, Japan Bangladesh Chamber of Commerce and Industry, JBCCI, to take the stage. Now I kindly request today's moderator, Mr. Yuji Ando, Country Representative, Japan External Trade Organization, to carry on the session.
Thank you very much, MC. I would also like to request Mehdi Hassan to up on the stage. Yes, please. And before starting the panel discussion, I'd like to ask Kawachi-san to make a presentation on the BSEZ. Thank you very much. Hello.
dear Executive Chairman, economic zone situation. Before starting to my presentation, I just want to share the numbers, 175. So what is these numbers? Actually, this 175, the number is, sorry, you cannot see this. Actually, this number is visiting a company to BSEZ for this 1 year. I mean, from April 2022 to March 2023, only this 1 year, 175 companies comes to BSEZ. And there's actually number of the person is more than 400 person is coming to BSEZ. So what I want to say is that everybody is very much focused on the BSEZ. Thank you very much. So I just want to share our location. So the BSEZ is just 30 kilometers from Dhaka. And our development size is 119 hectares. Let's say 470 acres. And we already complete the phase 1, let's say 80 hectares. We already start the operation from last December. This is the pictures of BSEZ. So it's hard for you to see that the size is let's say 1,700 meters multiply 500 meters. This is our BSEZ's size. This is the pictures of BSEZ. So you can see that we already complete and also we already start the operation. I want to share, this is our company logo. You know very well that Japan flag and the Bangladesh flag is very similar. So our logo is a mix-up, the Japan and the Bangladesh flag. And also our concept is Japan quality in Bangladesh. So sometimes, especially the many Bangladesh persons say that Japan economic zone. Yes, it's correct that the Japan company is operating the industrial park. But we are not only specialty to the Japan companies. We receive the global companies. And we provide the Japan quality in Bangladesh. This is our concept. So to, let's say, act the Japan quality, to achieve the Japan quality, the economic zone operation is done by Sumitomo Corporation and BEZA. This is a Bangladesh government. And the construction work is done by JGC. This is a Japanese construction company and local developer. And the security is done by ALSOC. This ALSOC is secured Tokyo Olympic. And the telecommunication is managed by Sumitomo and also KDDI. Sorry, you cannot see. Okay. So anyway, what I want to say is, yes, we will keep the Japan quality. That's why we collaborate with Japanese company. But not only Japanese companies, we work with Bangladesh company. This is what I want to share. And this is our sales update. So as I say, we started the operation from last December, but actually we already have 3 companies, Singer and Ludolf. The Singer is a Turkey company, and Ludolf is a German company. And I cannot share the name, but Daily Goods, it's from Japan. And this green one is the reservation agreement. So the Onoda and also Nikka Chemical is already have a reservation agreement. And the other plot is almost under discussion. So what I want to say is that the phase 1 areas we already developed is almost all sold out. So that's why we will expansion the 2023 40 hectare. And currently, we receive 30 Japanese companies and 10 foreign companies, but we are doing the negotiation discussion. Okay. So this is the last part from myself. So I just want to consider about the history between Japan and Bangladesh. So 1972, the diplomatic relationship between Bangladesh and Japan was started. And through these 50 years, Japan and also Bangladesh collaborate. And between 2022 and 2023, BSEZ, Bangladesh Special Economic Zone, started the operation. And actually, our land use right is 50 years. So from BSEZ, I want to shape the next 50 years together with Bangladesh. This is the message from Bangladesh Special Economic Zone. Thank you very much. Onek Donnobat.
So thank you very much, Kawachi-san, for your great presentation. So we would like to move to the panel discussion and the Q&A session. So I would like to moderate this session on behalf of JETRO. So thank you very much again for joining this session. Actually, today we are very, very happy to know that many of the people, friends are joining this session. And this session is the only country-specific session in this business summit. So thank you very much, FBCCI, to arrange this session, especially for Japan. So, we're also happy to say that by taking this opportunity, JETRO is inviting the business delegation from outside of the country to this venue. And around 10 Japanese companies are joining from outside. So I hope that after this session, some networking session will happen. And so this is my hope. So I would like to go to the questions. Actually, today, for successful businessmen in Bangladesh from both countries are joining. So actually, through these sessions, we would like to provide some good information to all of you how to make a success between Japan and Bangladesh in terms of the business development. So this is the biggest opportunity and the purposes in this session, especially in this panel discussions. So I would like to invite Mr. Abdul Haq, advisor of FBCCI. As everyone knows, Mr. Abdul Haq is currently advisor of FBCCI and the former director of FBCCI. And Mr. Haq is a former president of Japan Bangladesh Chamber of Commerce and Industry, JBCCI, and have a long business relationship with Japan. Due to the great contribution to bilateral business relations, Mr. Hawk has been awarded the Order of Rising Sun by Japanese Emperor in 2022. He is called Brand Ambassador for Japan and Mr. Japan in Bangladesh. So I'd like to ask Mr. Abdul Haq about what is the most important point to build a successful business partnership with Japan. So this is my question to you.
Thank you very much, Ando-san. And first of all, I think I must express my gratitude to His Excellency, the Ambassador of Japan is here, and distinguished speakers, including our session chairperson, Mr. Bida Chairman, and panelists. And in the hall, there are many distinguished guests here. I can see our former president of JBCCI, and investor from Japan, JBCCI President Secretary General, and Mr. Suzuki all the way came from Delhi, JETRO Director General in Delhi, India. I think it's a great opportunity for us, and I thank JBCCI to allow this special allocation for Japan at this business summit. Actually, as Mr. Mamiya's presentation expressed everything, I think it was a wonderful presentation, Mamiya-san. And you know, when there is somebody can reach to the Japanese corporation's height, they are so learned, you can witness from Mr. Mamiya's presentation. I think he has said everything and made our life easier. Why we should invite Japanese investors? You can see the Thailand started in 60s and they've got 5,000 Japanese companies. In spite of all the odds in Thailand for last about 50, 60 years, Thailand's growth was continuous and Thailand is one of the largest recipient of Japanese investment, followed by all other from the world. The Thailand is having military government, this government, that government, but the development is never stopped. It's just because they followed the Japanese way of development. And following that, you see, another country is Vietnam. They started in 73, I think 73 perhaps, and following Japan, now Vietnam is having several thousand Japanese companies in Vietnam, and it is the Vietnam government was a communist government. They never understood the market economy. I remember our former finance minister, Mr. Kibria, when he was the escape Secretary General at Bangkok. Under his leadership, there was a pool of economists from Japan, Malaysia, from ASEAN countries, and they designed the market economy of Vietnam. Following that, Vietnam has the most advanced recipient of FDI in the Asia and most popular among the Japanese. Then comes the Indonesia. I can remember that when Mr. Obama was the president, Japanese government under the prime ministership of Mr. Abe invited our prime minister and Indonesian president to G8 meeting in Japan. And it was Japan expressed that two countries they are going to promote, Indonesia and Bangladesh. Indonesia successfully followed Japan, now having the most popular destination for Japanese investment. Why I'm saying this, as a businessman, as a self-made man, I have seen wherever Japanese has gone, there was no exploitation. And it's Malaysia, see, Mr. Mahathir Mohamad made the policy, look east. We have always looked west, but he said look east. And following look east, Malaysia from an agrarian country could emerge, one of the developed countries in Asia. Therefore, we should definitely compare Japan as a very special country for economic development. And I express my thanks to our present government. They have of late realized the Japanese importance, how important Japan is for economic development partnership. And the Honorable Prime Minister has given a very good friendship hand for Japanese, and Japan-Bangladesh relationship has gone anytime high compared to the history at the moment. If we can follow this way, and yesterday the Honorable Prime Minister indicated about the red tapeism, I think it will be responsible our business leaders here, very pioneer leaders, that we should translate this word. What are the required reforms that we should have to really attract investment from Japan and elsewhere? And only one economic zone is under, at the moment, Arai Hazard. I think there will be many Japanese companies will be coming, but once Japanese will start coming, we must provide them enough space to do business so that we can learn. In Japan, the income distribution system is wonderful. We are talking about always zakat and all these in every way, every time in our prayers. But in Japan, they practice the distribution of income. They are minimum salary and maximum salary, not like America. They have got a balance. Everybody can travel by public transport. Everybody is having a house. So my dream, personally, and I think for our business people, we should have a society like Japan that is highly civilized in education, in transportation, in the local government, in governance, in delivery of the way of life, the delivery of industrial commitment. They'll die for commitment. I think Japan is a wonderful country, and we're very lucky to have a very special relationship with Japan, and it's good for the Bangladesh business people that we can learn from Japan how to be industrialized and how to build a society, how to build a powerful nation.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Dr. Hokusan. Yeah, we came to know that your enthusiasm is helping, to build a trust on you between two countries. So thank you very much. And I would like to move to the next question to Mr. Mehdi Masud, COO of BJIT. Actually, as keynote speaker, Mr. Mamiya mentioned, IT is a new sector for bilateral business relationship. So actually, I would like to ask you about the IT sector. Could you elaborate the opportunities in IT sectors for Japanese companies? Before that, Mr. Mahdi Hassan is COO of BJIT Limited and has been doing IT businesses for more than 20 years. So he has been involved with JICA's IT engineers training program, so-called BJET, and has a lot of experiences in IT sector with Japan. So it's over to you.
Yes, thank you very much. Good afternoon to all of you, His Excellency, Honorable Ambassador, all guests and delegates here. Thank you from BJIT from my side. Actually, I'm going to direct to the point. Actually, thank you, Anderson, for this nicely mentioned that this is a business collaboration that we are talking today. And of course, I think from my point of view, this is a win-win opportunities, win-win possibilities in IT sector. Is quite new for us, but we are doing it very well, even recently. Yeah. So I think, from Bangladesh side, we can say that in Bangladesh, we have young, talent, highly skilled IT engineer, and which is available in the market already. Keynote speaker clearly mentioned 10th of thousands of IT engineers we are getting from the university every year. So this engineer is our asset. They are very talented. They are not only local market, they are globally, not only the industry based, but they are also in academia and research based. They are doing very well globally. So this is our actual asset and this is our strong area. The other hand, if we compare and see in Japan side, that Japan is the second largest IT market in the world, firstly. Secondly, this is a completely smart country. It's an IT-oriented, IT-focused country where always need the technology, demand is high, and they are one of the global leader of the world right now. So they have the shortage. Also mentioned in keynote, actually I found that everything was there, that they have the shortage. Even right now, it's around 1 million of software engineer Japan need inside. So this is a outsourcing, offshore or nearshore, both areas they need it very much. So this is a supply and demand. There's a huge matching, and where is the opportunity that we need to work together, because we have the resource, skilled resource, smart new generation who are eager to learn the new technologies, and Japan need those people. So this is the first point. Secondly, from our experience, we can say 22 years ago, BJT started journey with 7 people. Now, actually in the market, 800 people is working in Japan, in BJT group, but dedicatedly for Japan market is 400 from one company. But this is 100 of companies is working for Japan. So already it's ongoing process. Software development is ongoing, outsourcing is ongoing, nearshore, onshore, offshore, 3 format they are working. Right, so this is actually, our feedback is very good from Japanese client, Japanese people, that our engineers are highly committed, dedicated, attrition ratio is very low, so people want to travel, culture minimization gap is quickly can adapt with the culture, and it's very close to their mindset. So a lot of positive things we are getting feedback from Japan and Japanese client last 15, 20 years. So this is another positive point that we're supposed to work together. So our government facilities also mentioned clearly that here we have tax holiday, cash incentive, 100% foreign ownership, this type of package bundle is there. So this is another point that we can welcome you here in Bangladesh. So another point, for example, lastly, we are working with Sony, Panasonic, Toshiba, NTT, SourceNext, KDDS, or like such, Rakuten. Such, globally, they are giant. They are not only the inside in Japan, globally they are the leader in IT sector. So they are investing, working with us last 10, 15 years. Means that this level of company we are working, our engineer, our companies is working with them, means that we have passed their security level, we have passed their, their quality level. We know that Japan never compromise with the quality. So that point of view, our engineer, and we passed this situation. And lastly, what I mentioned on this point, Anderson, that actually our people, Bangladeshi people and Bangladesh, actually, whenever we do for Japan, we try to do our software engineer, try to do it from their heart. We people, Bangladeshi people, love Japan. We respect Japanese people very much. So this is a big combination. This is the point that to work together. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mehdi-san. Yeah, I'm believing that we have enough space to expand more businesses in IT sector. So thank you very much for your input. So next, I'd like to move to the third panelist, Mr. Min Hori, President of Japanese Commerce and Industry Association in Dhaka, and also Mr. Lee is a country representative for Bangladesh and the General Manager of Mitsubishi Corporation Dhaka office since April 2020. And so, Mr. Lee, as a Japan Chambers in Dhaka's president, can you explain your initiatives and the way forward? So this is my question to you.
Thank you very much, Ando-san. JCIAD is the abbreviation of Japanese Commerce and Industry Association in Dhaka. Once again, JCIAD. Somebody known by the Shokokai. We are forming currently 130 Japanese companies as a members who are already operating actively in Bangladesh. And also we do have from the government side, Embassy of Japan, JICA, JETRO, also the member as an observer. Let me tell you that JCIAD Shokokai has celebrated 50 years of foundation last year together with the Japan-Bangladesh diplomatic relationship. So you can see that Shokokai and the Japanese company has been long committed in Bangladesh. And through this long-term relationship, we have been building the business in Bangladesh with a trustful relationship and also with the good communication. Our members vary from RMG sectors, manufacturing sectors, and ODA project sectors, mega project, and also service and trade, service trade and domestic market sales subgroups. We are discussing from the accumulated good know-hows and a good practice, and also we are sharing the daily facing difficulties and challenges, and we share each other, and also we propose this to the Japanese government side so that we can get a smoother support for the solution of the difficulties and challenges. We believe that good communication is a key, so we are hoping that Japanese government and Bangladesh government enter into a joint study of the EPA soon. So through this Japan-Bangladesh good communication, we would like that EPA negotiation can be smoother. From the JCIAD, Shokokai is trying to communicate well with the JBCCI, Japan-Bangladesh Chamber of Commerce and Industry. We have a lot of friends here, so we would like to expand more co-working together with Bangladesh friends in JBCCI. Finally, this year we would like to have stronger communication with Bangladesh government. I'm very much grateful to see the Honorable Vida Chairman today. He's one of the great supporter, and the other day I had a long discussion with him, but he's quite helpful. So we would like to have more communication directly with the Bangladesh government so that our situation can be shared and we can get more support in order to promote more business in Bangladesh. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Lee-san. And thank you very much for your leadership for the more collaboration between Japan and Bangladesh. So I'd like to invite the next panelist, Mr. Tetsuro Kano, Vice President of JBCCI, and also the JCIAD. Mr. Tetsuro Kano is also the General Manager of Itochu Corporation DAC Office since April 2022. Mr. Kano is also serving as coach of Bangladesh national baseball team and Dhaka Metropolitan Police baseball team. So he's a chief, the boss of police that team. So my question to you is that as a bilateral chamber, JBCCI, what do you think the new possible areas for collaboration for Japan and Bangladesh? So this is my question to you.
Thank you, Anderson. My name is Kano, the Vice President of both of JBCCI and JCIAD. Then, as Anderson explained, I'm a coach of the national baseball team. So I'm bridge of the JBCCI and JCIAD and Bangladesh and Japan for sports. Then, as a beginning, please kindly let me introduce about JBCCI. The JBCCI is a binational organization to promote trade, business, and investment opportunities between Bangladesh and Japan by getting support by Embassy of Japan and JETRO. And started in 2004, the member of the FBCCI. And the member is now the total 265 Bangladesh company and Japanese companies. Then our main activities in order to accelerating our goal is networking gathering, conference and seminar, and factory visit and site visit to the JICA-related projects, and cottage calls to the honorable persons of the considerable importance. Then we also have the standing committee, like arbitration member, service committee, and business investment promotion SME, PR and networking committee, and tax, regulatory and policy advocacy committee, and FTA, EPA committee. They especially these EPA and FTA issues are our one of the biggest concern. Then our idea of the new possible area for the collaboration for Japan and Bangladesh will be a IT and textile category with SDGs investment and logistics and consumer-related business in order to accelerating our goal. The IT is, Mr. Masood explained, one of the biggest business opportunity in Bangladesh, then in many, many areas. Then textile category with SDGs investment is also the very strong point in Bangladesh, because Bangladesh is the biggest number of the green factory all over the world. This is the very good opportunity. Bangladesh should more pushing to the all over the world. Then logistics need much improvement, including cold chain and unclear the address issues. But it's so, it has a big opportunity to grow. Then Bangladesh will be the very big market as a consumer. This is a big opportunity. Then as a conclusion, that I consider this development and improvement of this category will accelerate the foreign direct investment by private sectors from Japan and the new possible area for both countries. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Kano-san, for covering the very important points, including your initiatives by JBCCI. So thank you very much. I would like to go back to Mehdi-san. Actually, we know that many opportunities in IT sectors, but on the other hand, we have still the challenges in businesses here in Bangladesh. And today, Honorable Vida Chairman is here. So my question to you is, what kind of initiatives do you need from the government for more business collaboration, especially in IT sector? So this is my question to you.
Hi. Thank you very much, Santosan, again. Yeah, this is a correct question. I think it's going to be from my side, actually, before the answer the question, I would like to mention that now, after this Corona crisis, and this war is going in Russia, Ukraine, so there is a global impact and economical impact is everywhere globally. Everybody is looking to find this cost-effective solution, keeping the quality, keeping the productivity. This is one of this point in every countries we are facing in IT sector. So that point of view, it's a positive for us, positive for Bangladesh, that we are getting more PO purchase order or more opportunities from outside to do. So this is one of the way to do outsourcing. Through outsourcing, cost-effective solution is there only. So this is actually where everybody is focusing, and we are getting, and there is high possibilities opening more. Same way it could be in case of Japan, may happen, and it's happening with us when we are getting this more order and more opportunities is opening for us. So about this answer to the question is, for example, government to government, what type of facilities? For example, right now, what we are doing, we are focusing mainly in Bangladeshi, 100 of IT companies is working, outsourcing. They're focusing in Tokyo-based market, right? So I think this main area is promotion and branding. So which is through a private company or few private companies together. It's very difficult. It's not easy job. So we worked inside Tokyo is okay. When we worked together with BJET project, for example, Miyazaki Prefecture and Miyazaki University, some collaboration happened here with our universities and industries. So same way, actually, we can go forward next, like Miyazaki Prefecture, or Nagano Prefecture, or Hokkaido, and step by step we can move forward where government can play a big role and help us a lot to promote IT industry over there. For example, I would like to say inside Bangladesh, whenever a person is looking that made in Japan, there is no question. Everybody can understand this. It's 100% perfect with the quality. So at least some level of or certain level of promotion you can do inside Japan. That okay, Bangladesh is it's a home of IT. So this type of message need to be provided over there. So through media and promotion and branding things can do. This is through government is possible to do. On the other hand, government to government analysis, some business analysis is there, is needed. From our academy, that student is completing their graduation from here and directly need to involve our work over there in Japan. So Japan industry and our academy could be some good discussion and collaboration, some exchanging culture minimization gap in our textbook and some other places about Japan. Japanese culture need to promote more so that they can early stage they can understand about these cultural things. So this is from my point is very, very important that to understand this language, cultural understanding and mindset, and Japanese people mindset and their quality level, thinking of their quality level. So these things in early stage we need to provide. So another good point and very important point is OGT, like we start on-job training. This is for software engineer is very much necessary. Whenever they are completing their graduation, supposed to parallelly they need to complete this OGT part, where we have done very successfully through JICA Finance and together with BJET and some other companies that here, people is getting, completing their 3-4 months training, OGT, and then actually a few hundred of engineers already through the system we sent already from Bangladesh to Japan. So they are representing Bangladesh over there and how increasing the business. This type of session need to do more and more. This type of practice need to do more and more. From here, this IT businessmen and IT engineers visa, Honorable His Excellency Ambassador is here, could be more easier for our engineer, for our IT businessmen. I already mentioned earlier that a lot of IT delegates coming from Japan to here in Bangladesh. So from our side, Bangladesh side, actually we can make a special zone or like open their VIP corridor or VIP exit and entry so that it's easier to avoid the crowded places in the airport. So a lot of packages there that we can talk later together. Thank you very much. This is shortly from my side.
Thank you very much for elaborating the important points. So Via Chairman is here. So as JETRO, we would like to collaborate more with the chairman, especially to promote IT sector for Japanese companies. So thank you very much. So I would like to go back to the baseball coach, Mr. Kano, again. So you are leading Itochu Bangladesh by focusing on textile and consumer sector. So my question is that for upgrading these sectors, what do you suggest the necessary actions for Bangladesh and Japan both?
Okay. Hi, thank you, Ando-san. At first, so many participants doesn't know about the Itochu Corporation. So please let me explain about brief information about the Itochu Corporation. Then, Ando-san, thank you so much.
Please keep on.
Yeah. Then the Itochu Then Itochu main activity is trading and investment and founded in 1858. And now we have the 93 bases in 62 countries. Then Itochu Dhaka was founded in 1961 after Marubeni Corporation. Then started in textile business. And now we have a deal any item and trading material and products. And always try to find invest opportunity with good partner in Bangladesh. Then our corporate mission is Sampoyoshi. That means good for seller, good for buyer, and good for society. Then that is for the sustainable business activity and development with SDGs and ESG investment. Then now that we have the two growth strategies. The one is a business by market-oriented perspective, and another is contribution and engagement to the SDGs. Then along with our strategy, Bangladesh has a huge opportunity, especially we consider stable population growth with very young average age and increasing purchasing power of goods and services in future. That is a very, very attractive. Then, however, difficult to invest the Bangladesh is also exist. The improvement of the transparency and corruption, then relaxation of the custom clearance also is needed. Then I consider the necessary action for Bangladesh will be to improve these difficulties for more investors-oriented consciousness by learning from the successful Asian countries. And the necessary action for Japan is to keep a good relationship with suitable funding by government and more projects from private sectors. And the necessary action for both countries is to conclude EPA and FTA agreement by meeting in the middle amicably for exist Japanese companies in Bangladesh and the Japanese company who is want to make investment to Bangladesh. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Kano-san, for elaborating your thoughts. So next question goes to Lee-san. You are leading Mitsubishi Corporation in Bangladesh. So what business are you engaged in Bangladesh, and what do you expect in the business facilitation towards LDC graduation? So this is my question.
Hi, thank you again, Ando-san. How many people knows that the Hazrat Shah Jalal Dhaka Airport is by the Japanese government JICA fund? I believe that most of the person here knows that this is from the support from Japanese government. But maybe few people knows that Mitsubishi Corporation is behind that. We are engaged in the construction with some partners. You can see when you go to the airport now, you will see every 2 weeks, you can see the big difference. Project is progressing, so this is the Japan quality. Thank you very much. You may know MRT Line 6, Agargaon from here to Uttara North. You know that this is from Japanese government, JICA fund. But some people doesn't know that we are also supplying the rolling stocks and depot area, not doing the construction, but we are humbly supporting this project. Japan made Kawasaki Sharyo, which is Japan-made train. This is also, we are humbly supporting this project. Also, talking about the investment, we are engaged in LNG, energy sector investment, together with our local long-term partner, which is Summit Group. You may also know that we are doing the business. Talking about towards LDC, some people has already mentioned about the necessity of the EPA already. I personally believe that in order to promote more promotion of the investment, we need 3 government bilateral agreement. One is investment promotion protection agreement, which we do have already between Bangladesh and Japan. Second one is the tax treaty, avoidance of double tax. This is also the treatment that we already have between Bangladesh and Japan. So only one piece left, bilateral, is EPA. So having these 3 important bilateral agreements between Bangladesh and Japan, I strongly believe that our promotion of the investment will be bigger and bigger. Today, Ando-san is giving me only 3 minutes, so I would like to focus on another point that is very important for the promotion of the further investment between from Japan to Bangladesh, which is Bangladesh country's sovereign credit rating issue. As you may know, S&P, Moody's, Fitch's, they all issue long-term, short-term credit ratings of all the countries. So those who are in Japan, decision maker, see if we are going to make an investment in Bangladesh or not. They will see this credit ratings of the sovereign credit ratings of the Bangladesh and Myanmar, everything. They will compare that. Unfortunately, Bangladesh credit rating is still not recommendable for the investment. This is the truth. So we would like that this credit rating should be improved as soon as possible. I'm sure that 2026, once you graduate from LDC, credit rating should be improved. But I cannot wait until 2026, and people are saying that let's make an investment. So this is one of the Bangladesh governments, we would like to have further support by the Bangladesh government to sell yourself better to this international credit agency so that they improve their ratings of the Bangladesh, because private sector has also internal credit ratings, and we see and we refer to these international credit ratings. If the Bangladesh continues BA, BB, BB minus, which is so-called category non-investment grade speculative, what they're saying is not so recommending from credit ratings. And we all see these ratings, unfortunately. But we know that Bangladesh has a potential. So we private sector is promoting directly to the top management, but we need the rating should be changed as soon as possible, even before the 2026, by the full support by the Bangladesh government. Also, this is crucial for the all the Japanese companies. Also, this is for the any other countries, new investment to Bangladesh applies. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Lee-san, for touching upon the very important 2 topics, the FTA, EPA, and rating. So I hope for the near future, the Bangladesh will have a better index in these 2 the topics. So the last question goes to Abdul Hoksan. So we are talking about the future. So for next 10 years, what are the next necessary initiatives for Bangladesh to strengthen the economic relation with Japan? So this is my question. So please kindly conclude in very precise manner. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Ando-san. I'll be very brief. I think actually for next 10 years will be very crucial for Bangladesh, and we very much need a Japanese collaboration in all aspects of development. For example, to mitigate, our business leaders are always raising their voice, their frustrations about the corruption, about the obstacles of business. And through this meeting, Honorable Senior Secretary, who is the chairperson of today, we would like to convey our expectation that we must change in order to accept the developments. We must make necessary reforms of our ministries and agencies so that we come out from the colonial pattern of structure to a modern, Japan-like, investment-friendly government so that we can rise at the end, we can play our due role at the global stage. So this is the message we should give through this meeting, through our honorable chairperson today, from the house that we have got all our luminary business people here from home and abroad, that change or die. We shall have to accept change. We must change our pattern of governance, our pattern of service delivery, pattern of public services, and the quality of the public services. I don't want to criticize our government. We are criticizing ourselves, and we must. You are not criticizing us, but you are suggesting how to follow Japanese way of development. Actually, I as a businessman, as a self-made man, and from the very, bottom of the pyramid, I would strongly suggest that we must adapt development so that we can invite Japanese, so that we can develop ourselves. I'm a selfish guy, you see. I want to develop my country, therefore I want Japanese partnership. Our business people, they want to develop. We want a better life, we want a better transportation, better housing, better public transport. We want not so many cars, I'm a car businessman, but good transportation, so that we can entirely develop the country. And Japan is the most popular, most loved country in the world by Bangladesh people. It's the only country in the world where even a rickshaw puller salutes Japan. So this opportunity Japan must take, and we want to see an extended Japan in Bangladesh in the next 10 years. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Abdul-Haq-san, for your really excellent comment. So, due to the time limitation, so I cannot get the questions from you, but I'm really sorry due to all my bad moderations. So my apologies goes to you. So thank you very much. This is the end of the panel discussion. So thank you very much, everyone, for your kind attendance. So MC. So may I moderate? Okay, thank you very much. So today we have a special guest, Honorable Ambassador of Japan to Bangladesh, His Excellency Mr. Kiminori Iwama. I would like to request His Excellency to deliver a speech. So thank you very much.
Mr. Lokman Femir, Executive Director, Executive Chairman, BIDA, Mr. Takeshi Mamiya, Keynote Speaker, Regional CEO, ASEAN and Southeast Asia, Managing Director, Marubeni ASEAN, distinguished panelists, and ladies and gentlemen. Assalamu alaikum, Shubopikal, good afternoon, and konnichiwa. It gives me an immense pleasure to attend the Bangladesh-Japan session in Bangladesh Business Summit 2023. I would like to thank FBCCI and JETRO for organizing this important event. I also would like to thank the business people participating from Japan and as well as from Bangladesh, and as well as the speakers and panelists who provided us with the insightful inputs. Although what I was going to talk in my speech was duly covered by Mr. Yasutoshi Mishimura, Honorable Minister of Economy, Trade and Industry of Japan, in his video message, I would like to make a few points more specifically for Japanese companies that will or consider to expand an investment in Bangladesh as the ambassador of Japan to Bangladesh. As Minister Nishimura mentioned, Bangladesh has achieved significant economic growth in recent years. Its GDP grew by almost 7% in the last fiscal year. Without a doubt, Bangladesh will be the fastest growing economy in Asia this decade, with its per capita income expected to reach $3,000 soon. Bangladesh, located in the Bay of Bengal, is the vital country in geopolitical terms, as it is an intersection between South Asia and Southeast Asia. Japan views the development of Bangladesh as significant not only to Bangladesh itself, but also to the overall stability and prosperity of the Indo-Pacific region. I hope that more companies will focus their attention on Bangladesh, which is full of potential for the future. For those companies trying to expand its business or invest in Bangladesh, the Japanese Chamber of Commerce and Industry, Shokokai, JBCCI, and JETRO is known okay. JETRO will provide full support. In particular, what I would like to highlight is the JBCCI, which is under FBCCI. It is a hybrid chamber of commerce and industry consisting of Japanese and Bangladesh companies. It can provide useful advice to companies entering the Bangladesh market. I'm sure that the cooperation among those chambers of commerce and Shokokai will be of great help for those companies who are interested in investment in Bangladesh. Not to mention, the Japanese government and the Embassy of Japan will also spare no effort to support Japanese companies by making necessary requests to the Bangladesh government. As was mentioned by Minister Nishimura, the Japanese government has been assisting with yen loan, the basic infrastructure in Bangladesh directly related to improving business environment, including Jamna Bridge, Matabari Deep Seaport, and Dhaka International Airport. In addition, the BSEZ, which was well explained by Mr. Kawachi earlier, was launched in December last year with the online participation of Honorable Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina. It is expected to attract much interest for investment of Japanese and international companies. This is how the Japanese government is strongly assisting and encouraging the improvement of investment climate so that it will be comparable to that of other countries, such as Vietnam or Indonesia. Although I have talked about Bangladesh's potential and promising future, I have to admit that there are still a number of challenges for Japanese companies to expand business and investment in this country. What is important, however, is that the public and private sectors, including the Bangladesh government, are working together to identify and address these issues and challenges to create a better investment climate. For example, a framework called Public-Private Economic Dialogue was launched between Honorable Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina and late Prime Minister Shinzo Abe when Honorable Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina visited Japan in 2014. And the public and private sectors have gathered and held many discussions for the improvement of the investment climate. The latest meeting of the investment issues, the latest meeting that took place last August saw some improvement or resolutions for some of the investment issues, such as the relaxation of the limitation of telegraphic transfer, free of cost import, and container run use, which were faced by the Japanese business companies. There are many other issues that must continue to be addressed with the cooperation of the Bangladesh government, but the Bangladesh government has shown its commitment to addressing these issues with the graduation from LDC in 2026 in mind. The Japanese government will continue to make efforts to solve these issues through the framework of dialogues and will also work with JETRO, Shokokai, and JBCCI to address specific issues as much as possible. Regarding the graduation from LDC status in 2026, again, as Minister Nishimura mentioned, last December, both countries agreed to launch a joint study group on the possible EPA between the two countries. The government of both countries are currently finalizing its coordination for the joint study. I expect that there will be a discussion between the two countries on the possible contents of the EPA to alleviate the uncertainties associated with the LDC graduation. I'm just saying this in a very broad manner, but the government is expediting our efforts to finalizing the date for the joint study, and I hope we can announce that in the near future. In concluding remarks, I do hope that the Japanese companies will take this opportunity to accelerate their consideration of doing business in Bangladesh. We will cooperate with the government of Bangladesh and business people to further improve the investment climate. Bangladesh aims to become a developed country in 2041 in achieving Vision 2041. On this occasion, I would like to reiterate that Japan will continue to stand by Bangladesh in its development journey and work to build a win-win situation, win-win partnership for our prosperous future. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, His Excellency Ambassador Mr. Kiminori Iwama, for delivering a very, very excellent speech. Thank you very much. So, as a last part, Chief Guest, Dr. A.K. Abdul Momen MP, Honorable Minister of Foreign Affairs. Unfortunately, he is not here due to the unavoidable circumstances, but he's very, very kind enough to send a video message for this session. So I would like to request the operator to play the video from Honorable Minister of Foreign Affairs.
Japan, distinguished session chair, panelist, moderator, distinguished guest, ladies and gentlemen. Assalamu alaikum, peace be upon you all. It is indeed a great pleasure to be a part of this summit and share thoughts with this august audience. I first would like to congratulate today's keynote speaker for his extensive deliberation on Japan-Bangladesh trade and investment opportunities and way forward. Ladies and gentlemen, I am pleased to speak to you today about the trade and investment opportunities between Japan and Bangladesh and the way forward for our two countries to strengthen our economic partnership. Japan and Bangladesh have had a long-lasting relationship that dates back to pre-independence of Bangladesh, when Nobel laureate Rabindranath Tagore visited Japan, and especially when Justice Radha Vinod Pal helped exonerating Japanese emperor in the Tokyo trial on the World War II massacre. No wonder Japan government recognized Bangladesh as an independent and sovereign country as early as 1972. When Japan recognized Bangladesh, since then, Japan has been a reliable partner for Bangladesh in its economic and social development. Japan's assistance to Bangladesh in infrastructure development, energy, healthcare, education has been crucial in bringing significant changes to the country. I have very special relationship with Japan and Japanese companies. After the independence of Bangladesh, I was working in the Commerce Ministry And on those days, we had to import everything from abroad. Once Bangladesh was termed as a bottomless basket with no hope of survival, many exporters were reluctant to export goods to Bangladesh. But even on those days, the Japanese companies exported goods to us, even at times at deferred payment. After the visit of Father of the Nation Bangabandhu Sheikh Mujibur Rahman to Japan in 1973, the Japanese government supported us steadily without any conditionality. They are our friends in need. Ladies and gentlemen, Bangladesh has taken several initiatives to attract foreign direct investment, including the establishment of special economic zones, simplification of regulatory procedures, and investment-friendly policies. The government efforts have resulted in a private response from Japanese companies. Many well-known Japanese companies, such as Mitsubishi, Sumitomo, and Toyota, have already invested in Bangladesh. Distinguished members of the audience, the economic relationship between our two countries has been growing stronger over the years. The Japanese investors have shown a keen interest in investment in Bangladesh due to its large population, strategic location, and competitive labor cost. Japan is one of our leading partners in the plethora of the mega projects in terms of finance, capitalization, and technology. There are many areas where Japan and Bangladesh could engage as partners in development, be that in the development of infrastructure like our third terminal, or be that in incubation of emerging sectors like ICT. Bangladesh welcomes investment, trade, and engagement at both G2G and P2P levels. Along with traditional sectors like ready-made garments, leather goods, Bangladesh is very interested to cooperate and have partnership with Japan at different level, and thus increase the bilateral trade volume in energy sector, IT/ITS, pharmaceuticals, automotive and light engineering, small and medium enterprises, plastic products, jute and textiles, and biomedical engineering products. And we are very much enthusiastic to be engaged in business, production, and technology transfer in modern technology domains such as, but not limited to, blue economy, artificial intelligence, robotics, advanced manufacturing and multi-dimensional printing, fintech, advanced materials, semiconductor, design, prefabrication, fabrication, new computing technologies, blockchain and distributed ledger technologies, Internet of Things, and virtual and augmented realities, machine learning, deep learning, design space, biotechnologies, neurotechnologies, biometrics, etc., etc. As you are aware that the trade relation between Japan and Bangladesh is now at a unique height with a trade volume of over $3 billion US, while export to Japan is $1.2 billion and import from Japan is $1.8 billion. Japan is among the top 5 foreign investors in Bangladesh, according to the cumulative foreign direct investment. Over the last 50 years, we have received $16 billion funding from Japan for several development projects in Bangladesh. And they also made a commitment of $28 billion. We greatly appreciate this. There are already 320 Japanese companies engaged in ready-made garments, trading, development projects, service sector, and private investment in Bangladesh. And we are expecting a new wave of Japanese companies and joint ventures after the Japanese economic zone at Araihajar will be ready. Bangladesh deeply appreciate Japan's contribution and support in constructing more than 550 bridges, 117 cyclone shelters, supporting hundreds of SMEs and hundreds of ongoing technical cooperation projects. While Japan is a very important development partner of Bangladesh, Bangladesh is also an important source of intermediate materials and a significant trade partner of Japan, as well as a noteworthy destination for investment. Leveraging on Bangladesh's intrinsic geographic, economic, demographic, and other pulses, I strongly believe that both countries can reap mutual benefit further by exploring further trade opportunities to improve connectivity between these two countries. We are looking forward for opening up our airline, direct airline from Dhaka to Tokyo and back. It would pave the way forward to the greater economic strength and unhindered movement for people of these two regions. Ladies and gentlemen, Japan and Bangladesh have an excellent opportunity to enhance their economic partnership. By leveraging each other's strength and capabilities, we can create a win-win situation for both countries. I am confident that with the right policies and initiatives, we can unlock the full potential of our economic relationship and build a stronger future together. I hope that the friendly and productive relation between Bangladesh and Japan will reach to a new height in the upcoming years. We will find our ikigai in what we do together. Thank you. Long live Bangladesh-Japan friendship. Joy Bangla, Joy Bangabandhu.
Ladies and gentlemen, now we have with us Mr. A.M. Momen, Vice President, ABCCI. I request Mr. A.M. Momen, Vice President, ABCCI, to take the stage. Sir, please kindly take your seat. Ladies and gentlemen, now Mr. A.M. Momen, Vice President of BCCI, will present a token of memento to the esteemed panelists of today's session to celebrate the occasion of 50th anniversary. At first, I request Mr. Momen to give the crest to our special guest, Mr. Kiminori Yaoma, His Excellency, Ambassador of Japan to Bangladesh. Now, crest will be given to Mr. Tetsuro Kano, Vice President, Japan-Bangladesh Chamber of Commerce and Industry, JBCCI, Vice President, JC8, General Manager, Itochu, Dhaka Office. Next, crest will be given to Mr. Myung-ho Lee, President, Japanese Commerce and Industry Association in Dhaka, JCIAD, General Manager, Mitsubishi Corporation, Dhaka Office. Next, crest will be given to Mr. Mehdi Masood, COO, BJIT. Now, crest will be given to Mr. Abdul Haq, Advisor of ABCCI. Now crest will be given to our today's moderator, Mr. Yojiandu, Country Representative, Jetro Dhaka. Next crest will be given to Mr. Taru Kawachi, Managing Director, Bangladesh ACG Limited. Next, crest will be presented to Mr. Takeshi Mamiya, Regional CEO, Asian and Southwest Asia, Managing Director, Marubeni Asian, representative from JBCC EC. Lastly, crest will be presented to Mr. Lokman Hussain Mia, Executive Chairman, BIDA. He is the session chair of today's program. Now we'll have photo session. I also request Ms. Nadia Binte Amin, Director BCCI, on the stage.
সালের মধ্যে বাংলাদেশকে একটি উচ্চ আয়ের উন্নত সমৃদ্ধ এবং উদ্ভাবনী স্মার্ট বাংলাদেশ
Thank you everyone for your presence.